These are the four main modes of transportation in history. The oldest are horses and carriages. The earliest horse and carriage models and toys date back to 3000 to 2500 BCE.
In Rome and Greece, they were called chariots and were normally used in military services and races. People started using chariots in 2000 BCE.
People started using carriages on Zane's Trace in 1804. Carriages originate in Mesopotamia around 2000 BCE.
Before horses were used for transport, people used tamed oxen and donkeys to carry carts.
In the early 1800s, carriages and wagons pulled by horse were very popular. There were approximately 21.5 million horses and mules in the U.S., about one horse or mule for every fourth person.
To save time, many trees were felled or cut down, but their stumps were left in the road if they were under 1 foot high. Wagons would frequently become high-centered or stuck between these stumps, leading to the phrase getting stumped.
Carriages were the older version of cars. The way almost everyone owns the cars nowadays, most people own a wagon many years ago.
What are ferries? Created in 1655, these boats carried cargo, vehicles, livestock, and people through rivers, lakes, and other various bodies of water. Though many versions in later years ran on steam power, ferries in the early 1800s ran on a long line going from side to side of the river or lake.
There are so many good and bad things about ferries. These amazing modes of transportation didn't have to rely on wind or animal power, but on weather conditions and could operate independently. Ferries made traveling over water cheaper and 2 to 3 times faster. But now we have serious facts about ferries you must know. Because of the early and poorly built ferries when they were first made, it made it more common for boiler explosions to happen. Another thing about ferries is they weren't reliable enough to pick you up on time.
But how were ferries involved with Zane's Trace? Ferries were essential to the success of Zane's Trace, and without ferries, Zane's Trace might not be as successful and as well known.
Ferries transformed dangerous rivers into hubs of settlements, and that allowed the trail to become a passable route for migration. Also, the required ferry locations at the Scioto, Muskingum, and Hocking rivers led to the founding of major Ohio cities. This made ferries foster early economic growth. Ferries also carried lumber to different parts of central Ohio.
Thanks to ferries, they have opened up the interior of Ohio to westward expansion. As you already know, ferries have lots of connections to Zane's Trace, and they have impacted people in many ways.
Are ferries still around? A 2016 report by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Bureau of Transportation Statistics provided extensive data on the present-day use of ferries in the U.S. There are 560 reported ferry terminals still in operation today, with the highest density occurring in the Northeast, Upper Michigan, and Alaska's west coast.
As you can see, ferries are still used even to this day, from New York, Seattle, Sydney, Hong Kong, and more. Ferries serve as a very helpful form of transportation. Ferries can also be used for scenic tours. In conclusion, ferries are not leaving anytime soon.
Hi, we're from Harmon Middle School and we're talking about trains from Zane's Trace.
How did trains impact transportation?
2nd century, before trains existed, people used slow, horse-drawn wagons and unreliable water transport with fast, reliable, high-capacity rail driving, industrial growth, and westward expansion, and were used for moving massive quantities of food and passenger travel. The construction of railroads drove advancements in engineering like bridges and tunnels, which fueled the growth of the steel industry.
Another question people may ask is, how are trains a part of significant history? The trains transformed it from a rugged pioneer path into a major industrial and logistics road. Trains replaced slow wagon transport, making the rapid movement of goods to national markets and turning Zanesville into a key rail center. Note this article from Zanesville Times Recorder. The settlement of the frontier, the development of agriculture, and the exploitation of natural resources generated a demand for new ways to move people and goods from one place to another. Trains evolved from early wooden wagonways to steam, then diesel, and finally modern high-tech electric systems.
Trains became popular and needed transport along the Zane's Trace route, specifically the key hub of Zanesville in the mid-1800s. with major growth following in 1850. By the 1850s, railroads were replacing the national road as the primary trade route, with the first trains arriving in Lancaster in 1854.
Railroads also helped with the golden age between the 1880s and 1920s. This was the height of rail popularity, with the U.S. network that peaked over 250,000 miles by 1916. They also helped with the agricultural, shipping, and businesses.
Automobiles evolved in the late 19th century. I'm sure you've heard of Toyota and Ford.
In 1891, the first two cars in Ohio crashed into each other while going only approximately 10 miles per hour.
Automobiles were made with German and French gasoline inventions. Early automobiles featured tiller steering instead of wheels.
Cars originated in Germany, and there are also over 1 billion cars, with Carl Benz patenting the first gasoline-powered vehicle. Automobiles are most commonly called cars.
By 2025, over 1.6 billion people use cars worldwide.
Many popular brands include Lexus, Toyota, Jeep, and Ford.
Founded in 1903, the company Ford produced several models, including the model A, B, C, F, K, and R, and S, before introducing the iconic Model T on October 1st, 1908.
Cars are used every day for many reasons, such as jobs, food, and vacations.
Cars are the most modern form of transportation.
Here's a picture of the first car in Ohio. Cars are the most modern form of transportation. These are many reasons for cars being invented for human transportation.